keep this going. Guys, our next talent feature on Fox. Make some noise for Danny Palmer, everybody. Danny Palmer.
What's up? All right. You guys doing it? Sorry about the gross bald head. Hot model guy, the gross little bald guy. So. Hell yeah. They're like single girls in here, so everybody's all coupled up. They go back there. Hey guys. Which one of you is desperate enough to fuck me? I get nervous when I talk to pretty girls. I get kind of anxious. Like my head starts to sweat. And I was in the subway recently, and this cute girl got on at the same time as me, and we both went to sit down. And as we did, she like inadvertently slid her hip into my hip, and then she turned to me and she goes, "Sorry." I was like, "That's the best thing that happened to me in a week." Honestly. And then I don't remember you guys, but I just summoned my nerve and I started to talk to her. And then I got her number, I took her to dinner, and we ended up having sex. Isn't that crazy? Thanks, bro. Thanks a lot, man. Thank you. Yeah, just kidding. She got off at the next stop. My life. Here's my story. I'm 42, single, just jerking off, you know? And my sister is 4 years younger than me. She lives in Atlanta. She has a normal life. She's married. She has 2 kids. I have these 5 and 7-year-old nephews. So I was down there over Christmas, and I was taking a nap in the guest bedroom, and then my sister's married friends came over, and they have a 4-year-old girl who I've never met. So I'm upstairs napping, and then my little nephews and this 4-year-old girl come bounding up the stairs, and then they just burst into the room where I'm sleeping. And then I just sense this presence standing over me. So I open my eyes, and it's this 4-year-old girl who I've never seen before in my life. And she's just glaring down at me menacingly. And her opening line, she goes, "Do you have a wife?" And I was like, "No." She goes, "Do you have a dog?" And I was like, "No." She goes, "You don't have a dog or a wife or a mom?" I was like, "I have a mom, you bitch." Hello, man. I've been single for most of my adult life. You know, I didn't screw up like 3 years besides that, just years of unending singleness. And if you're a single guy, or at least me, if you're single over the course of time, you're just gonna get rejected like hundreds of times. Like I've been rejected over and over and again. But it's to the point now where I consider myself to be kind of like a connoisseur of rejection. It's like a fine wine to me. I'm like, oh, that one was particularly stinging. I'm detecting a subtle note of maybe she doesn't actually have a boyfriend. That's like pregnant with us as well. What are you gonna do? Alright, does anybody have any questions at this point? There's questions. Did you have a question? Oh, you're just talking to your boy? Alright, what's the other thing that I got? I went to the, I called my doctor up, you know, and the phone just rang, and like nobody answered, and I'm like, well, that's weird, like what if I was like hurt or sick or something? So I Googled his name. It turns out he didn't answer because he's currently in prison. Isn't that crazy? He did this like kickback scheme with the blood lab in Jersey, and the FBI busted him. But now it just makes me feel like if he's in prison, like all his medical advice to me has been delegitimized. Like it used to be like, listen, Danny, you've got to stop smoking weed and start wearing condoms. And now I'm just like, yeah, okay. Get right on that, buddy. It's done. Don't panic, Danny. Everything's fine. Okay. You're good. All right. What about this? Comedy 9 years, full panic every time. Here we go. Pretty true. I'm into sexting. You like the sex? Single girl let me? You ever sexed? No? You want to try? Get on your phone, girl. I like sexting a lot. I was doing it recently. It was like a Sunday afternoon, and me and this girl were just going back and forth with all this dirty shit, just filthy stuff. And I have an iPhone, and she has an iPhone, and it just makes me wonder, like, are we 100% sure that the Apple employees aren't checking in from time to time on the sexting? Like, I feel like one day I'm gonna be like, oh my god, I'm gonna come soon. And the girl's gonna be like, me too. And the Apple employee's gonna be like, hang on, my shift ends in 10 minutes. Plus, it's really strict. So I'm dating, man. I'm trying to meet girls, you know. So I went out with this girl like 3 times. I liked her, and it's hard in today's day and age as a guy pursuing a girl. Like, how long do you wait after the date to text her? You wait like 6 hours, 12 hours a day? I don't know. So I went out with this girl 3 times. It was like a Sunday afternoon, been 24 hours, no communication. And I was like, I gotta think of something. So I was reading this article in the paper about Saturn. I got kind of excited about it, and I think I was like a little bit too open with her based on how well I knew her at that point in our relationship. Because this is the text that I sent her out of nowhere. I was just like, hey, I was just reading that Saturn has 62 moons. Jesus, we only have 1. What a rip. I love space, LOL. And then you know what she responded back to that? She didn't respond back to that. That's over. There you go. Okay, alright. I was at a bar last weekend. Me and my buddy Rick was out drinking, just drink every weekend. I was at this bar, and the bathroom door was like locked for like 15 minutes, and it was like an issue. I was like, what's going on? So like beating on the door, like the bouncer came over, he's like banging on the door. Or the vibe was kind of going downhill. It was like, did somebody OD in there? Like, what's going on? So finally the guy gets a crowbar and he just bashes the door for like another 5 minutes, and finally it bursts open and he looks in there, and it was just the bartender was having a 3-way with 2 chicks. Like, that was the whole thing. But it just made me wonder in my mind, like the mindset of that guy, because he was so pissed off when he had the crowbar. Like in his head he was like, whoever is in this bathroom is banned from this bar for the rest of their fucking life. And then the door opens and he goes, Steve. Yeah, nice job, bro. Back to us for slinging drinks. Are you guys nice? Have a nice night. Thank you.